These two down here, I personally would avoid like the plague. You are giving up a portion of your equity. It's stated, but I don't know that people go into the detail as to what that actually means. The incentive around, but I don't have any monthly payments.
Which is a huge red flag. And why people are losing their homes is because that $40,000 quickly becomes $270,000. And then you're going, holy cow, how did that happen? It is worse than student loans. It's terrible. Share this with somebody so that they don't fall prey to these products either.
This is pretty important, is understanding the difference between these products: home equity line of credit, home equity loan, a home equity agreement, and a home equity investment. These two down here, I personally would avoid like the plague.
For real.
Mainly
literally like the plague.
The piece that isn't expressed fully upfront is you are giving up a portion of your equity. It's stated, but I don't know that people go into the detail as to what that actually means.
Right.
And there may be, again, there may be an opportunity for us to do our own a live around these two items alone and the differences between this vehicle and these two. But again, from as it relates to a line of credit and a loan, again, the biggest piece is one-time disbursement. I'll make it bigger. One-time disbursement on right there. One-time disbursement on the loan, whereas the line of credit you can use as much as you would like. Now, in most cases, that home equity line of credit, the interest rate is variable. So the draw, the thing that they're getting to pull you in as it relates to this loan is the fact that, hey, it's a fixed payment schedule. And in a lot of cases, the interest rate might even be lower.
Yeah, that's really what most people go, well, gosh, that makes sense, right?
But the biggest piece, and again, they don't mention it, but the biggest piece for me is just because I put money in it, it means it's stuck there just like a mortgage.
Right.
And so therefore I cannot use those payments that I've made again to go do other things. I can't do velocity banking.
Right.
And then as it relates to a home equity agreement and a home equity line of credit, I really don't see much difference between these two. I think these are two sides of the same coin. No monthly pay. I think the draw.
It's marketing is what it is.
Absolutely. I think the draw for both of these products is the incentive around, but I don't have any monthly payments.
Which is a huge red flag.
I can have $100,000 a home equity agreement and I don't have to pay you anything.
And anybody suggesting that you should do this, well, you'll see what's coming up.
This is very, very important to understand what this means. Lender owns a percentage of your appreciation. Like, understanding what that means and the impact to you. Because notice there's not that percentage grows as your appreciation grows. It may be 1% rate, but as your home appreciates in value, that 1% rate that the total amount increases in size. And that's impactful.
Man, and this part right here is so important. Go ahead.
So in several states, there is currently legal action being proposed as it relates to HEA and, I guess I need the title here, as it relates to HEA and I'll call it the
HEI.
Right, HEA and HEI, but they're legal actions based off some of the wording and the details related to what people are being offered and not disclosing everything associated with the impact of what it is you're signing. So just again, be conscious of what these products are, what they are offering, and know there's currently legal actions happening as it relates to HEAs and HEIs associated. Sweetheart, is something you wanted to add here as well?
It's all the tea that's on this page.
Jump on in here.
Okay. So first of all, I've been saying this for a long time. Here, been saying this for a long time. It's only a matter of time before they come after them with legal repercussions for this predatory product that they have. It's only a matter of time. Right now, you're seeing a ton of probably ads when you're scrolling through. I don't care what app you're on. You're probably seeing these same ads of people who are going, you could get access. Did you know that you could get access to your equity without getting a HELOC or without refinancing or without this? You could just get an HEA. Wow, I got one, changed my life. These people probably don't even have.
Follow me for more.
Right. And I wish that they would stop accepting money for, or trading their money for these types of videos, because they have no idea what it is that they're encouraging people. They may have got paid what, $500 to do this video. But did you see what was on there? Let me see if I can put it back up there. Well, here.
So
14.7 million.
Massachusetts, 14.7 million in excessive equity extraction. Federal court ruling, poison pill disguised as a financial relief. And
that's what they called it, a poison pills disguised as financial relief, that it's predatory.
CFPB warning, 47% of HEA customers face foreclosure risk.
With seniors over 65, 62%, and households earning under $40,000. And here's why this is so important to know and why we are coming with receipts. The reason why we're coming with receipts is because we're not haters. We're not just talking about this product because we don't like the product. Has nothing to do with it. It has to do with this parasite that gets attached to your equity. It is worse than a payday loan. It is worse than a title loan. The reason why, get your title back with Title Max. You probably have that commercial in your city too. And the reason why get your title back is a part of their jingle, the first lines coming out the jingle, is because so many people lost their vehicles getting title loans when they thought that this was just, hey, did you know that you could turn your car into cash and you could borrow cash because of your car? Then they were like, well, I didn't realize I was going to lose my car and I could never pay this thing off. The majority of people are finding that they are now in a position, and mind you, they only started gearing up all of these ad campaigns and influencer type of incentives for people to get out there and talk about them only recently. Why? Why are they going so hard in campaigning for these products when they weren't before? They were just sliding them in. It was somebody at the bank or somebody at the lending office when you went in to go get a HELOC and they said, hey, why, when you could just get this, right? We don't know how they're incentivized, so we can ask the question, who benefits? But here's the point. It is too late. When this amount of people have been impacted, this amount of equity has been stripped out of the hands of families. Because these weren't homes that they just, sure, we don't care if we lose this house or not. That is not the case. The majority of people are wanting to pass down this house. The majority of people are wanting to leverage their equity. The majority of people thought that this was an extra point of leverage for them, no different than using a HELOC, velocity banking, no different than some of the other leveraged products that we talk about. This ain't that. Welcome to This Ain't That, okay? Welcome to that. They're gearing up more because what we know is that there'll just be more and more families that will be impacted by this. And that's the terrifying thing. Here's why it's important in the conversation of questions to ask when you are going in for a HELOC, because oftentimes, and you've seen it right here in this chat tonight, oftentimes you'll see people went in for a HELOC. They learned something about the terms, something wasn't clear, but they made it. What was clear? What was clear was that refinancing they made that look really good. That seemed clear to them, right? But they couldn't, the HELOC was too messy. We couldn't really figure it out. I couldn't really get all the details. So that's why I just went with this other thing, because they made it sound very clear. They're going to make this sound very clear. No payments, right? No payments. You get to tap into your equity. What else? Oh, low interest rate. So the percentage of equity, turns out they say it's maybe a 5 to 8%, maybe, depending on what there's tiers for some of these, and they're all structured differently too. There's not one across the board. But here's what I learned when I first was like, what the heck is this HEA thing? And I started going down that rabbit hole to go hunting for the details. I found the page where they were talking to their shareholders, and that's when I saw how they talk about people and the equity that they are stealing from families. They were talking about it as if this were an amazing thing for shareholders to know. Invest with us, continue to invest with us, because look at how much equity we are robbing people from. Like they're signing it over to us pretty much. This is amazing because the ROI, if you invest with us, can you imagine what it is you're going to get? And all we're doing is robbing people legally. Well, not anymore, because that's what all this legislation is in moving forward, is to say you cannot do this anymore. But imagine what this is doing to somebody who thought all I had to do is pay off my house. This is the problem with being debt free and broke at the same time, is you're limited to what options you do have. And so therefore it feels like, the only option I had was to go into this.
You end up getting preyed upon.
That's right. And there are people right now who are here on YouTube talking about velocity banking. And some of the people that went and paid for coaching with those people ended up on the call with Donnell talking about the fact that they ended up in one of these HEAs because they were told to by the coach that they paid, who is supposed to be a velocity banking expert. Just let that sink in. And it's too late. There's nothing that they can do. They didn't understand it because they could get access to this leverage. Like, this person probably didn't even benefit, but let's just say they did. Let's say they had some sort of affiliate deal or whatever. We don't know, right?
Or debt.
Why would they even recommend
consolidation
this to somebody?
Right?
Yeah.
You don't know.
You don't know what the situation was, but the point is, if it was, let's say it was $40,000, okay? Let's say the majority of people are going in, they're getting somewhere around $40,000 or $50,000. These HEAs aren't a lot of money. However, what you end up paying, having to pay them back, and why people are losing their homes, is because that $40,000 quickly becomes $270,000. And then you're going, holy cow, how did that happen? It is worse than student loans. It's terrible. And there should be not a single person recommending it to anyone ever at all, at no matter what the time or circumstance is. There are just other options, and knowing the questions to ask, understanding how to position yourself so that you can qualify for them, makes all the difference in the world. And that's where knowledge is power. Because when you don't have that, you walk in and you end up in a situation where you feel like, this is my only option. This is what they're willing to offer me. Maybe it's just because you didn't know that you needed to answer the questions in the very beginning of this whole live stream. We talked about the quality of the questions that the questions that they ask, and the quality of the answers that you give back to them determines the quality of your offer, right?
That's it.
And so if you're here, if you're subscribed, if you're joining us, if you're tuning in, then you will get access to all of this information, because this is truly what matters. We don't have any affiliate deals. We're not getting any kickbacks or anything. When we recommend somebody, we were recommending them because we want to. I don't understand where we are in the world today that we are willing to allow somebody to go down that path. It doesn't matter how much there's not a single dollar amount that somebody could pay me for me to recommend that somebody go and lose their home. There's just not, ever. I don't care I don't care. But we are in a weird place. And unless you know what these are, then you're going to click learn more, right? You're going to want more information about this, because no payments, home equity. Wait a second. The Stidhams are over there talking about how to use your home equity for velocity banking, and I don't have to make any payments, and I can tap into this. Like, this makes sense. You can qualify with low credit. Oh, that sounds even better. Well, this is all I had access to. Now maybe you'll know, and spread this out. Share this with somebody. We'll clip it out. You can use the clip feature. We'll put it up as a short maybe. Share this with somebody so that they don't fall prey to these products either. We can each one teach one, and we grow farther and faster when we grow together, and we learn faster that way too. And so do everyone a favor and spread this information out. I agree with you. We could do a whole live stream on this, but I don't think people want to hear me rant for two hours and just be angry.
We can build it around an example, because I think there's some pieces here. There's some detail here, I think, that could be helpful. So we can talk about it later.
Okay. We do have some questions. Did you want to get back? Oh,
Yeah,
there's one more thing. There's one more thing.
What? Oh, you must have put it there.
I did.
Okay. What is that one more thing that you're wanting me to talk about?
Yeah, right there. So.
Oh, okay.
So after all that, are you ready to shop for your HELOC?
So I think what I appreciate about this slide is, again, it's not one size fits all, and it's not the first bank you walk into. It's the purpose for asking these questions is to give you to arm you with the information required so that you can now be a bit more selective. Now, here's an opportunity to compare multiple lenders and identify which ones actually fit your goal. And again, these aren't just random questions to ask. There's a reason behind it because there's a strategy that you're attempting to implement. And the ultimate idea behind all of that is putting your leverage in a position to where it can work for you so that you can do more with it. And so I think the moral of the story to this slide in general is self-directed.info/calendar. And that is the best thing that you can do is jump on my calendar if you want to talk more about how the action that you need to take to be able to take action with the leverage or the equity that you have. And just remember, when we meet, there are some basic questions that I'm going to ask you. It's what are your numbers? And so if you don't know your numbers, if you don't understand where you are currently, the first step is to go to self-directed.info/live and grab the the Velocity banking sheet that we offer for you to be able to put those details in so you can understand what your cash flow is. Because again, and this is based off the example that we did, I believe it was last week, and that is just because you're offered a line of credit doesn't necessarily mean you should get it. I think the example last week was it was Ava, right? Ava getting a $250,000 line of credit was what she was offered, but we ended up backing that down to more of around $80,000 to actually to do what was necessary based off the cash flow that she has. But where do we get that information from? It was all based off her understanding her numbers. So currently doing velocity banking to be able to execute the strategy. And so understanding what she had available to her allowed us to put things in a position to where we could identify what the line of credit was she really needed to get so that we could take the action that she needed to take.